Hello everyone, today we're going to be building some more Jurassic World. I'll be revisiting Jurassic World Rebirth once again. This time I'll be building the giant Quetzalcoatlus. I specifically based my build off of this picture here. I usually base my models off of toys, but I didn't like the colors on this one. Before jumping into the build itself, I wanted to take a look at LEGO's official model. I noticed a lot of reference material and different depictions of the Quetzalcoatlus had varying colors. This one stands out the most with its blue color and brown pattern on the wings. It also uses the same mold from the Dominion Quetzalcoatlus. I compared the two here so you can see that they're the exact same mold, which comparing to other reference material I found that it's not too accurate. This was one of my most challenging builds since it's a new shape that I'm not used to. It was also very difficult finding the right shapes and colors since so many reference photos I used were so different. Taking a look at my build here, you can see I started off with the body. I chose dark tan as my main color. I also used dark brown on the front to get that fluffier looking patch on its chest. The legs are pretty simple, but the one issue I had was getting the right number of toes. A lot of my reference material showed 4 claws. For now I only got 2 on here, but I might change that later on. Depending on how you guys think I did with this build, I might do an update video later, since there are a lot of parts of this build that I'm pretty unsure about. But now, as you can see, we've got the legs attached and we can move on to the next part. Next up is the neck. You can see I start to do the blue patterning up to the head, as well as a lot of 1x1 slope pieces. The ones on the front here are used to show some feather details. There's also a little bit of dark brown on the bottom to transition into the body. I included some black claw elements on the back to indicate some of those larger feathers on the back of the head. You'll see more of those when we get to the head itself. When attaching the neck on, you can see how the dark brown pieces line up there at the front. Moving on now, I started on the hardest part of this build, which was the wings. I rebuilt the wings multiple times since I wasn't too happy with how they looked. I included some claws for its hand. I added some orange plates and bricks for the underside of the wing. I included many different blue pieces for the pattern on top as well. It was a very difficult shape to replicate, but this is the closest I could get. Since I'm building the Quetzalcoatlus in a standing pose, I decided to make the wings folded up. So for the rest of the wing, I decided to make a long dark tan piece to attach. I felt like this design was closest to the reference image that I used at the beginning. This technique isn't so good if you're trying to make my build look like it's flying. But since I wanted this to stand up on the shelf next to the rest of my Jurassic builds, I decided this was the better design. I also encountered enough struggles having to rebuild the wings 2 or 3 times, so I ended up just sticking with this design for my own sanity. And now I could move on to another challenging part of this build, which was the head. I continued that blue pattern from the neck as well as the feathers on the back. I used some more black claw pieces and levers to get the look I wanted. The beak was the part that I wasn't too sure about. LEGO's model made the beak in tan. Other references made the beak a greenish brown, dark red, orange, or yellow color. So for my beak build, I just stuck with bright light orange and regular yellow. It's a pretty complicated build, so I couldn't get any more details. But now it was finished and we could add it on to the rest of the build. Putting this together, I looked back at my reference image and realized there's a little bit of red around the eye. I decided to try this out and see how it would look. I wasn't sure if this looked too good, so I compared the two here. On one side I had dark red and the other I had black that I used to begin with. Let me know if I should switch to this red color down in the comments. For now I'll be sticking with black because I think that looks better. Now with all pieces of this build done, we could attach the head to the rest of the body. Now the build itself was complete. Overall, I think this build came out pretty good. I think it added enough of the necessary details to make this build recognizable. I do think this is the build I'm the most unsure about after building it. But now I could compare it to LEGO's official Quetzalcoatlus. This is definitely the winner for the most difference between LEGO's version and mine, especially since LEGO's version is in a flying position and mine is meant to be in a standing position. Since the ends of the wings are folded up, it doesn't look too good laid out. I do really like my build, but I think the head might be a little too large and I think the beak could be better. Let me know in the comments any suggestions you all have. Thank you all very much for watching this video. Bye!